everyone. Today in News Generation, we tell you the story of a senior high school student in the Volta region who sells brooms to see him through school. We explain issues about child marriage and tell one young girl's story of how she ran away when she was faced with being away in marriage several years ago when she was just 11. And we tell you why the world is talking about Kenya. My name is Ifo Akwa Harrison. You are watching News Generation. Supported by
Cowbell with Vitarid. Omo, saving tough stains in just one step.
Daily Blue Band, Daily Grow. Indomie instant noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
And on to our first story. Patients acknowledge its importance as far as their healthcare needs are concerned. For the poor especially, its presence has been a lifesaver as it gives them an opportunity to have access to healthcare. But despite this, the National Health Insurance Scheme has some challenges which need to be addressed if it is to survive another decade.
A decade ago, a new health insurance scheme was born in Ghana. Its purpose was to lessen the financial burden of patients. After a series of successful pilot programs in some districts, the National Health Insurance Scheme went nationwide. Millions of people benefited greatly from the scheme.
It favors the poor because if someone is sick and a person doesn't have money and he or she goes to the hospital, it covers up some the diseases and drugs which the person is going to take, so the person don't have to pay money.
It helped me a lot because I remember the last time when I went to the hospital, I did not pay a cent on my drugs and for what the doctor prescribed for me. So it has helped me really.
About 90% of illness is covered by the scheme, which should be good news. It is credited with improvement in the healthcare seeking behavior of many people who now seek medical attention early. But there are some challenges.
It has been beneficial since it started, but nowadays it is getting low. It is not that beneficial like it used to be.
Why?
Because nowadays, as soon as you register, some months later, they will tell you, when you go to the hospital, they will tell you it has expired.
It was working very well when it started, but it's no more effective as it used to be.
Some categories of illness and drugs are not covered under the scheme. This means a patient may be faced with a huge financial burden for services if they are to survive or their health to improve.
For malaria, the scheme does not cover for that. For that, you pay. And for typhoid too, the same applies to that. And I think that the National Health Insurance Scheme should cover for that disease because someone, the poor or the needy, some may not have the money to cover for that. So we plead with the government to let the national scheme cover for that diseases.
I think the government should improve upon it because most of the sickness, it doesn't cover up from some minor diseases like malaria, cholera and those other diseases.
I think with the payment of the renewing fee, it should be increased so that it should cover every drug.
The service also faces allegations of corruption, with claims being made for services not provided. The delay in the renewal of NHIS cards is a source of worry to patrons who use the service.
One thing about the insurance that, in fact, I don't like is that the service providers complain that sometimes it's very, very difficult. It takes a very long time before the government reimburses them their funds. So I will plead with the government to do something about it because the health insurance is helping. And if our mothers, our fathers who are in the rural areas, if this thing continues or persists, I think it's going to affect them a great deal.
Now, in other news, how young is too young to marry? For many, the answer is disturbing. So we meet Alimatu, who was sent off to marry at the age of 11.
My name is Bashir Alimatu. I'm 15 years. I come from Sumu, Upper West Region. I'm a small girl going to marry with an old woman. Is it not a shame on me and my family too.
Old recounts a harrowing experience when she was 5. With no,
I'm at 5 years, and they give me to my auntie to go, and my auntie come and ask for me that I should go and help her with her children. I went there, and this woman mistreat me. It gets to sometimes she gave me to her husband, married to the husband, and I said no, I won't marry to that old woman, and I went and stay with one of the. If it get to night, I ran out to sleep with somebody outside, and the man went and fought with that person. That if that is the case, she will kill the woman that always I will go and sleep with. And the woman said, if that is the case, I shouldn't come there again, and that brings me here.
With no idea of where she was headed and what the conditions were, she found her way onto the rough streets of the capital. Rough as the streets may be, it's the only place Alimatu calls home and the place where she earns a living.
Here, you won't get any nice house to sleep. We normally sleep outside. If you are sleeping outside, the madmen, they will come and be raping you. Some people, they will get drink, and they don't know how they are about. They will normally do what they like to you. We don't have houses. If you come here, if you didn't carry a heavy load, you won't get money to buy food to eat. Our life is very, very, very bad, dangerous.
Child marriages still exist in some communities. Children are married off when they should still be playing with toys, thrust into matrimony without knowing the meaning of marriage. Although her dreams may have been derailed temporarily, Alimatu has hopes of leaving the streets.
Our parents, they are ignorant. They don't know what about education. If they know what about education, they will send their girl child to school. They say if you educate a male child, you educate a nation. I quote with somebody. But if you educate a female, you educate individual. But our parents, they are ignorant. They thought that if you educate a male child, it's better than educate a female child.
Child marriage violates the rights of millions of girls globally, disrupting their education, jeopardizing their health, and denying them their childhood.
And I pose the question yet again, how can we help solve this issue of child marriage? Tell us your views, News Generation on Facebook. Now, for most pupils, parents pay their fees and see them through school. Joy News' Abla de Souza met Kekeli Butame, who has been making brooms to see himself through school.
He is 23 and a senior high school 2 student in the Volta region. He has every reason to give up. His community is behind in development without electricity and potable water. His family is not well-to-do. Butame Kekeli's choice to seek an education meant he had to work to see himself through school.
From the time that I started growing, so my father also doing it. Okay. So it's generation to generation.
He chose to make brooms, and that's how he has paid his fees and raised funds for other expenses over the years. He learned the trade from his father and has contributed to family expenses through hard work. Butame has already taught his cousins how to make brooms, and they are also masters of the craft. He hopes to keep making brooms through the highest level of education.
Do you yourself do things to help your parents with your school fees, or know anybody who does those things to help their parents? Well, let us know what you do, News Generation on Facebook. Now we bring you other interesting stories from the local scene in Newsround.
Has been asked to boldly decide on scrapping the allowances given to training nurses. The Upper East Regional Director of Health Services, Dr. John Koku Awuno Williams, says this will ensure that only committed nurses are employed into the service. Dr. John Koku Awuno Williams has asked the Ministry of Health to take the bold decision of scrapping the allowance given to trainee nurses, just as has been done by the Ministry of Education. Poultry Farmers has called on government to include eggs on the menu of the Ghana School Feeding Program to ensure the nutrition of beneficiaries. They explained the initiative would also help generate income for farmers. The Ghana National Association of Poultry Farmers says research has shown that on average, Ghanaians eat below 20 eggs per person per year out of the 5 million eggs which are produced daily by poultry farmers in the country. Team 2014 National Service Deployment List has been released with the Greater Accra topping the number of personnel deployed, followed by the Ashanti region, with Upper West region recording the lowest. The trend in regional distribution with regards to request, choice of regions and deployment remains a major challenge for the scheme. But speaking on the AM show on Joy News Channel, Director of Public Relations Ambrose Intriwa Jr. says this challenge would be soon ironed out with a revision of the scheme.
Time to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Give kids the taste they love and the nutrition they need. Daily Blue Band, Daily Growth.
Sometimes a stained t-shirt can make you the happiest mom. Now Omo Multi-Active removes even tough stains in just one step. Best ever stain removal from Omo.
And we are back from the break. Let's do something light now. 16 artists, 16 African countries, 16 songs from one album of good African music. Is there a better way to use the power of music to unite the continent? Well, that is the African Connection.
Let's do this. Now waiting they happen. Why you they worry? She's busy waiting for somebody. She's not easy, won't give in to anybody.
The power of music to effect change in society is undeniable. Ghana's rap doctor Ochame Kwame, Nigeria's Jay Martins, Ugandan Navio, and 13 others have teamed up for one great album. The album, African Connection, has 16 songs from the 16 artists.
I think if I'm to do 16 songs with 16 great artists in Africa, I'll be 16 times better than I am. I believe that it is the musicians who can do what the politicians cannot do with Africa, bring us together. It is very easy to unify people through music.
Nigerian artist Jay Martins says he is honored to be associated with the idea of using music to spread the positive aspects of Africa.
If you love Africa, and also if the chaos that is everywhere in Africa concerns you, there are certain things you should take your time to address too. And I believe he's lived such legacies too. So it's an honor for me to be on the project, and I'm proud to be a part of it too.
The cool temper and the easy man believes remaining focused and being God-fearing is the key to his success in music.
It's just being focused, and the God factor has a lot of work to do. But apart from that, we as human beings, we also have a lot of work to do too. And it's also all about modeling this celebrity thing right for the next generation, because a lot of young people who are coming up think it's all about the money. Like I would say, women, drink, cars, arrogancy, pride, disrespect. But we, the ones who are here, should be able to put that thing right, because it's what they see. That's what they believe it is. So that's what it is.
He said musicians, by virtue of their status in society, should be a positive influence for the youth to look up to.
As you make your bed, that's how you lie on top. Yeah, love your neighbor.
Ghana 2, Zambia 1. The score of the Group D World Cup qualifier played in Kumasi last Friday. This means Ghana is through to the 2014 World Cup playoff stage. What's up with that?
Yesterday's match was very boring and disappointing. I mean, after seeing what we've done in previous years and expecting so much from Black Stars, I expected them to play a good match, but Zambia, it was hard luck. I mean, I wanted Zambia to win, seriously, I wouldn't lie to you, but I think the home advantage was good, and God being so good, we won.
I really enjoyed the match. They played very well. It was very exciting.
I was happy that Ghana scored 2-1. Kojo Asamoah scored the first goal, and the new player, number 9, scored the second goal. I was happy that Ghana win the match.
Ghana did very well. They scored 2-1. We thank God that Ghana have won this match.
When Ghana won the game, I was very happy because the way Zambia people were playing the match, it was difficult.
I'm so happy that yesterday Ghana played a serious game. Good for me that they have scored 2-1 because they have spelled the JN. So all the Ghanaians are happy.
Your views on WhatsApp. Well, a bit more football. Usain Bolt says he intends to retire after the 2016 Olympics, and some racing news, all in Sports Round.
The traditional curtain raiser for the new football season in Ghana will come off between Kumasi Asante Kotoko and SC Mediama in the Super Cup. Kotoko